Fans of John Wick rejoice. The action franchise is expanding. Ballerina is now in theatres with Ana de Armas taking centre stage. The projector film critic Rodger joins us to dish out some stars for us. Good morning.
Do you know, sometimes you wake up in the morning, you don't know what the day is going to hold. And when I sat down here a few moments ago, you made quite a shocking confession to me, Chris. Yeah, I'd like you to share it with, the world.
I said I've never seen a John Wick movie. Why is that so shocking?
It's quite shocking.
Where have I been? How long has it been a thing for?
Just quite some time.
You're a fan.
Love
though.
John Wick.
Same.
And then I love... What's his name? Keanu.
Oh, no, I love Keanu in anything as well. But look, this is great because we're about to introduce, for the uninitiated and the very initiated and the obsessive, it is exactly as you described it. So Ballerina is kind of an expansion of that universe. So even though he does, it's not a spoiler to say that Keanu as John Wick does appear in Ballerina, this is a very different story and it focuses on the character played by Ana de Armas. And she is one of those actresses we're just going to see more and more of. And as you can see, she can dance and she can kick. And as it turns out, she can kill people really efficiently. Yeah. Triple threat. She's a triple threat. We got a taste of how great she was in a role like this because she was in James Bond, one of the Bond films, and it was a small role, but she basically was able to handle herself. So I suspect that was an audition for this. First of all, children and parents. Obviously, this is R16, like all the John Wick films. And it's very much carrying on the notion of revenge and action set piece, be it a flamethrower or an ice skate.
I mean, see, that scene instantly had me flamethrower versus massive hose, fireman's hose. I thought, I've got to see this movie. That's a battle I want to see.
It's an entry level to watch how to kill people. That's one way to do it. And awesomely, I was lucky enough to interview Ana de Armas last week, just via Zoom, alongside her director, Len Wiseman. And that was a very specific question I had. There is a scene, no spoiler, where she may inflict relative damage, definitely maiming with an ice skate, but also a flamethrower. So I had to ask her that very question, and here she is. Ana, I'm imagining you're in a dark alley. You have a choice. You can have an ice skate in one hand or a flamethrower in the other hand. Which are you going to choose?
How many?
Who's the opponent?
Yeah, how many? How many guys do I need to take down?
I'll be the writer in the room. How many? What's the situation? How many are coming?
You know what?
What's their equipment?
They were both so fun to play with, and I mean the flamethrower is brutal because you're just toasting people, and it's just like it's a far reach, so you're more like in control, I suppose. But the ice skates, those are.
Gnarly.
Those are gnarly. And it's like, close combat, and you just go for it, and you're just punching people and like.
I think as vicious as Eve is,
it is very vicious.
I think she'd find a way to use both.
Yes, probably.
Quite honestly, yeah.
Tactically thought about that, didn't she?
She really did. They both did. And I think this is one of the awesome things when you get a director, Len Wiseman, he's done lots of action films, but you've also got Chad Stahelski, who really is the architect of this kind of choreography, and he's worked with John Wick, with Keanu over the course of all of these films. So when you really do want to watch sort of a violent opera, it is kind of amazing. And it is the movies. It's not real, but at the same time, it's not for the kids as well. And Ballerina, it doesn't stack up against the original John Wick or the second one, but it's certainly in the realm of the rest of the Wicks, and I really enjoyed it.
Is it a good entry-level film for me to get into the John Wick
Certainly,
franchise?
But I plead with you to just watch the original. Yeah. It's perfectly formed as a film. Okay. And it's just, don't kill my puppy or I will kill everybody.
That sounds like a chill Friday night movie. Talking about Nicolas Cage. I mean, when was the last time we saw Nicolas Cage?
He is actually prolific. If you think about, first of all, I have to watch Face Off just about every single year, and also then I have to watch Con Air. Oh, my goodness. And he went through a very big stage in Hollywood where he had to say yes to absolutely everything because he owed so much tax that he had to earn an income. But I feel he is the go-to for a filmmaker that wants to do something not necessarily just random for the sake of it, but to do something fresh and different. Now, this film is called The Surfer. And it stars Nicolas Cage as a man that grew up in Australia and returns to the surf beach of his dreams with his son. And he's buying a house, his old family house on the beach, but he runs into the local surfing fraternity. And don't you love that word, gnarly? Someone said this is Point Break, sort of mixed up with Falling Down or any other sort of descending into madness kind of a notion. And you're looking at the trailer here and you may be thinking you're getting an idea of how this film is going to roll out. Again, apologies over your breakfast. This is not one for the family.
This trailer made me feel uncomfortable.
Great, it does. The film and the uneasiness of the descent into the conversation with what you're having as an audience member as to whether, in fact, he's completely lost his mind and where kind of, is this entire story real? Is it made up? The way that the film plays with you like that all the way through to the bitter end is actually quite intoxicating. There are parts of it that are grotesque, can I just say? So it's not for the squeamish. I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking...
Well, I'm just thinking that the movies we've gone for today, they're not...
I'm so sorry.
It's not like a date night movies, are they?
Should be Lilo and Stitch next week, maybe.
You might,
that's my kind of date night.
Next time, I think we need a date night movie.
Oh,
but
okay.
But I do, I'm very much, the John Wick thing is enticed me, but the
You're not sure
Cage
about
one,
The Surfer? Look, I don't think the Australian Tourist Board's going to be using it anytime soon to attract people to come.
But it's surprising to see Julian McMahon, is that his name?
I have not seen Julian McMahon on screen for so Nip Tuck. He had a big Hollywood career for a while because he was in the original version of Fantastic Four. We're about to get a new version with Pedro Pascal in that role. And I've interviewed him a couple of times. He's very, very charming. And he's also kind of disappeared. And when he popped up in this, I thought, good grief, it's Julian McMahon. And he plays a very, very intoxicatingly scary character in this. And he's excellent. And in fact, the whole thing is delivered in a real kind of almost kitsch kind of psychedelic way that I also really dug. So it's very cult, I think is the best way to describe The Surfer.
Nice.
Kate Rodger, you always surprise us. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. And slightly terrified too. Thank you.
Julian McMahon, FBI, Most Wanted. That was his most recent.
And fantastic teeth.
Yes.